brace for impact because there can be some outsized moves in the Nasdaq around Friday's non-farm payroll release. Now, the seasonal data for the Nasdaq 100 around NFP shows that the announcements indicate a very weak historical trend with an aggregate annualized return of negative 5.02%. Now, while there were 57.50% winning trades, these winning trades were far outstripped by the losing trades. And you can see that the losses outweigh gains with an average return per trade of negative 0.04%. The largest single trade gains and losses were plus 7.35% to the upside, minus 6.83% to the downside, which just emphasizes this sort of bearish bias during these events. And note that returns tend to decline heading into the announcement, over the announcement, but after the announcement days, in the sort of 5-6 days after the announcement, prices tend to rise. So what's interesting here is if we do see an outsized move, look at the largest move. So anything that goes over 5% is obviously incredibly big and has been the largest move in the last 10 years, particularly 2020. You can see during COVID crisis, these were the very large moves. Otherwise, look at the moves to the downside. There can be some quite big outsized moves, over 3-4%. Large gains, you can see if you go down to the bottom of the expectations here, you can see maximum gains 2.84%. There's some other big gains, 2.11, 2.54. There's that 7.35 in COVID. Also had some pretty large gains, 1.30%. So if we do get a surprise miss, then that should lift the Nasdaq. In the Fed should be expected to be more willing to cut interest rates. But if you do see gains, if the Nasdaq hits sort of 2%, you can see that's kind of a maximum that you typically expect with obviously the outsized gain of 7.35%. So it can be very helpful to look. But either way, just remember Nasdaq can be very volatile. We've got a volatility reading of 25.18% over this reading. Remember, don't just trade it. Season Exit, sign up here at Season Exit for literally thousands more seasonal insights, seasonal events that are just waiting to be revealed. Trade risks. The main trade risk with this outlook, of course, is down to the actual data release from the non-farm payroll, and that is a significant data release risk that, of course, you have to be aware of.